Kia ora koutou. Today I'd like to talk about the mentoring module, stepping up and giving back. The learning intention is to appreciate mentoring through the principle of mana motuhake. This module's caused me to reflect on, in particular, my liaison role, particularly with one kura. I've spent a great deal of time developing clear systems for requests for support, and I believe that we have a great relationship, a professional relationship, through sort of empowerment and shared leadership and relational practice guided by He Pikuroa. However, I'm still receiving requests for support seemingly out of the blue. We'll have a liaison hui, walk away with our assigned jobs and aspects to do within the casework, and then I'll get a notification saying that there's a new request sitting there, which does cause some frustration because I think it's important that we have transparency about what's coming up, and any potential requests shouldn't come out of the blue. The Senko is a dedicated practitioner who wants to see the best for the mokopuna and teachers, but at times is reactive, and that can cause tension and require close monitoring and support. What resonated with me was the amazing mahi of Sarah Grant in her Cluster 21, around that leaders without titles. Every single person in the cluster owns a responsibility of showing leadership in their craft. And importantly, if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. So that's sort of sat quite heavily with me. And in thinking about my application to RTLB practice, being informed of everyone's voices through the pre-request support process was a bit of a game-changing realization for me. Te Waharoa is that relational doorway that enables partnership and shared decision-making, and the enactment of mana motuhake at the start of the RTLB process. Currently, the process is that the teacher or whānau have a concern. That concern is then written up as a request for support through RTLB if that's the pathway. The whānau sign initial consent for RTLB to come on board, and then it's our process with our cluster that we then meet with the whānau before we have any connection to the case, just to share our process, let them know who we are, let them ask any questions, and then gain, it's essentially a second informed consent for us to be partnering with the kura and with themselves. So this Te Waharoa essentially streamlines that request process through whakawhanaungatanga, building connections, building a relational trust, and a shared understanding around what the request for support may focus on. And that's right at the start, because often I find that we get to meeting whānau and they're actually unsure about what our role would be within the process. Are you sort of providing teacher aid support, and that kind of thing often comes up. So we talk through our role about being sort of often a mentor for the teacher, looking at practice, the different observational tools that we can use to support developing a bigger picture for what's happening for the mokopuna. And all of that could happen right at the start, and then would actually expedite the entire process. So we're not waiting to have hui with different people. The school have through Te Waharoa, would have a process where the whānau would come in, or we'd go to whānau and talk through our roles within the space, the role of the school, the role of the Senko, the role of the teacher, the role of the whānau, the role of the RTLB, and what our goals might look like. And obviously those goals can shift and change and adjust, but if we're able to meet right at the start. I think that's a massive game changer for me, and it's never occurred to me. I don't know if other clusters do that. We certainly don't do that. We're very careful around informed consent, so that could be a discussion that I have with my cluster manager around how te waharoa could sit within our practice. And I just see that voice, agency, and partnership through mana motuhake principles is just so powerful. Rather than imposing solutions, we are an actual team, and I think using te waharoa and guiding that with schools, suggesting that with schools, could certainly be such a powerful way to build connection with the community as well, build connection within the school, and really be a powerful agent of change within our context. Kia ora.